Welcome back to Hard Time Sports. I'm Matthew. This topic, my picks for week 5 of the NFL season. Let's start off with tonight's game, the New England Patriots at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm taking the New England Patriots because I don't know if I can see the Patriots being 3-2 in the first 5 games to start a season. Their defense has been very crappy this year. Is the Patriots, which is an absolute shocker to me because they're always a top 10 defense in the NFL and probably a top 5 offense, and their special teams is really good every year. But this year, they're just not that good of a team. So I'm still going to take New England over Tampa Bay, even though I think Tampa Bay could still beat the Patriots, but it's at Tampa. So I'm going to take New England in a shocker tonight. Even though Tampa Bay's Doug Martin is coming back after his suspension from using PEDs for Tampa Bay, I still think that the Patriots are going to beat Tampa. I think Jameis Winston will make like a mistake or two, and Tom Brady will take advantage of it, and the Patriots will beat the Buccaneers tonight on October 5th. Now, for Sunday's October 8th games, here is the lineup. First, you have the New York Jets at the Cleveland Browns. I'm taking the New York Jets to beat the Browns. Like I said in week 1, Cleveland Browns, they stink. They're not that good of a team. They never will be that good of a team. They're terrible. So I'm going to take the Jets, and neither team are really good. The Jets are 2-2. Cleveland's 0-4. I'm going to take the Jets. Up to the next game, you have the Carolina Panthers at the Detroit Lions. The Carolina Panthers beat New England last week, and the Lions are playing really good this year. I'm going to take the Lions because I think the Panthers will have a letdown after beating the Patriots. So I'm going to take the Lions over the Panthers. The next game, you have the 49ers at the Colts. I'm going to take the Colts to beat the 49ers. 49ers are another one of those teams that are terrible this year. They need a bunch of picks to get better. They need a better quarterback, plain and simple. So I'm going to take the Colts to beat the 49ers. The next game, you have the Tennessee Titans at the Miami Dolphins. The last 2 games, Miami Dolphins offense has only scored 6 points. Tennessee might be without Marcus Mariota with some hamstring injury. Matt Castle will be their quarterback, and I still think Tennessee finds a way to beat the Dolphins in Miami. The next game, you have the Buffalo Bills at the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals stink at home. It's going to be another home loss for the Bengals. I'm taking the Buffalo Bills to go to, I believe it'll be 4-1. And I think that they will beat the Bengals. Okay, next to the next game. You have the LA Chargers at the New York Giants. Both teams are 0-4. Both teams are terrible. They're playing for draft position. Seems like both teams want to tank their season. It's at the Giants. I'm going to go the Giants are going to beat the Chargers to get their first win of the season and go to 1-4, and the Chargers will go to 0-5. Now, let's go to the next game on Sunday, October 8th. You have the Jacksonville Jaguars at Pittsburgh Steelers. I think Pittsburgh Steelers will win this game. Their offense is too much to overcome, and I believe the Steelers will get it done and will beat the Jaguars. Now, to the next game, you have the Arizona Cardinals at the Philadelphia Eagles. I think the Philadelphia Eagles will beat the Cardinals. Cardinals are not very good this year. They're not looking very good. The Eagles are playing great. So I'm going to take the Eagles over the Cardinals this week. Now let's go to the next game. You have the Seattle Seahawks at the Rams. In Russell Wilson's young, short career, he plays bad against the Rams, and I think it will continue. I think the Rams, led by Jared Goff and Todd Gurley, will get it done in a nail-biter in a close game, and I think the Rams will beat the Seahawks. Now, let's go to the next game on Sunday. You have the Baltimore Ravens at the Oakland Raiders. The first 2 weeks, Baltimore Ravens looked great. Last 2 weeks, they've looked terrible. Oakland Raiders, first 2 weeks, they've looked great. Last 2 weeks, they've looked terrible. The reason I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens to beat the Oakland Raiders, they have their starting quarterback, Joe Flacco. Oakland, they don't have their starting quarterback in Derek Carr. He's out 2 to 6 weeks with something broken in his back. 2 to 6 weeks. So I'm taking Baltimore to beat the Raiders in Oakland. Now, let's go to one of the main games of the week. You have the Green Bay Packers at the Dallas Cowboys. I picked the Packers to beat the Cowboys. I think Aaron Rodgers will get it done against the Cowboys this time again. And I'm going to take the Packers to beat the Cowboys. They got to stop Ezekiel Elliott, and I believe they can stop the Cowboys' offense if they do. So I'm going to take the Packers. Now, let's go to Sunday night's game. You have the Kansas City Chiefs at the Houston Texans. Like I said in my top 5 power, if Houston Texans can win this game, they can stay in the top 5 in my power rankings for the week. If they play good. If not, they cannot be listed, or they can be in the bottom. They play the undefeated Chiefs, who are the only team in the NFL after the first 4 weeks to remain undefeated. I'm going to take the Houston Texans in an upset to beat the Kansas City Chiefs this week in week 5 of my picks. Now, off to October 9th's game, Monday night. You have the Minnesota Vikings at the Chicago Bears. Minnesota's quarterback situation is up in the air. I don't know who's going to start. Teddy Bridgewater, Sam Bradford, Case Keenum is most likely going to get the start. And they're playing at the Chicago Bears, who are terrible. But the Chicago Bears, they have some good news. They're starting their rookie quarterback, Mitch Trubisky, as their quarterback this week. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to take the Minnesota Vikings to beat the Chicago Bears. As for other teams that are not playing this week, the byes this week are the Atlanta Falcons, the Denver Broncos, the New Orleans Saints, and the Washington Redskins all have a bye this week for week 5. Those are my picks for week 5, but let's do a quick recap of my picks. I picked the New England Patriots to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers tonight. Then on Sunday, I took the New York Jets to beat the Cleveland Browns, the Detroit Lions to beat the Carolina Panthers, the Indianapolis Colts to beat the 49ers, the Tennessee Titans to beat the Dolphins, the Buffalo Bills to beat the Cincinnati Bengals, the New York Giants to beat the LA Chargers, the Pittsburgh Steelers to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Philadelphia Eagles to beat the Cardinals, the Los Angeles Rams to beat the Seattle Seahawks, the Baltimore Ravens to beat the Oakland Raiders, the Green Bay Packers to beat the Dallas Cowboys, the Houston Texans to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Minnesota Vikings to beat the Chicago Bears. And the other teams that do not play this week will be back in action for week 6 next week. Those are my picks for week 5. I hope you agree or disagree with some of my picks. Please let me know on what you think with my pick selections for week 5. I'm Matthew. Enjoy the blog!